Hello everyone, I'm participating in Goldfinch. It is already the fourth module, and today I would like to talk about loan agreement. First of all, let's talk about what it is. What is a loan agreement? A loan agreement is a special document that regulates the conditions and procedure for issuing funds to the borrower and returning them to the credit institution. Special attention should be paid to the drafting and signing of this agreement because if a contract is drawn up incorrectly, its validity may be challenged in court. The content of a loan agreement. The loan agreement has a clearly defined structure. At the beginning of the contract, the parties signing the agreement are indicated. Usually, there are only two parties. The person who receives the funds and undertakes to return them with interest payment on time is the borrower. The person who undertakes to give the borrower money for temporary use in accordance with the established procedure is the lender. In some cases, the third parties to the agreement may be guarantors, co-borrowers, and other individuals or legal entities. The next clause of a contract is rights and obligations of the parties. The lending agreement imposes certain obligations on each of the participants in the transaction. The obligations of a credit institution consist in timely provision of funds to the borrower in debt for a fixed period. At the same time, the contract should regulate the form of granting a loan, non-cash or cash, as well as the currency of the loan. The borrower, in turn, undertakes to make regular payments on the loan in a timely manner, paying interest on it, and also to spend the funds received only for purposes specified in the previous paragraph of the agreement. If one of the parties violated the terms of the loan agreement, it can be terminated. Mandatory terms of a loan agreement. There are a number of mandatory conditions of the loan agreement, without which its execution will be impossible. These include the parties involved in the agreement and full information about them, the amount of the loan and the currency in which it will be issued, the period for which the borrower will receive funds, method of securing a loan, the amount of the interest rate on the loan, the amount of penalties that will need to be paid in case of violation of the terms of the contract, and the procedure for repayment of debt on the loan. Types of credit agreements. Types of credit agreements can be conditionally classified according to several criteria, depending on the currency, in national or foreign, depending on the availability of collateral, respectively with collateral, for example, in the presence of collateral or guarantors or without collateral, depending on the need for a refund, paid or free. How to avoid mistakes during the conclusion of loan agreements. Bank experts advise you to take the conclusion of a loan agreement extremely seriously. Take enough time to fully read the copy of a contract. Pay attention to whether the loan amount and the interest rate on the loan are indicated correctly. The subject of a contract shouldn't specify additional, unspecified payments. Check whether the date of a transaction is on the first page of the agreement. Its absence is fraught with incorrect calculation of the repayment date of the loan and, as a result, late payments. Another important point that needs to be checked is information about the parties to the agreements. Information about the creditor organization must contain complete data about its name, head, legal address, and so on. Don't forget that the loan agreement must be drawn up in 2 copies, one of which must be received by you personally. In case of any disputes over the loan, it will be easier for you to prepare for the trial by providing your copy of the contract. The last thing to check when signing a loan agreement is the presence of signatures from both parties, because in the absence of at least one of them, the agreement will be declared invalid. Thank you for your attention.